Hello, it's Barry and Sam here from Medway River Lit. Well, what is that, you say? Well, it's a literary festival for Medway that has over the last 2 years brought big names to the river such as Sir Ben Ockery, Caroline Bird, Ben Aronovich and many more. Not to mention a whole host of writers from the local area and the next door bits who have come here and wowed us just as much. Last year's festival in November welcomed over 1,500 visitors to our 45 literary events. If you were one of them, thanks, and we hope you enjoyed it. So, welcome to a special edition of our podcast, The River is Lit. Today we are going to be talking about some of the great guests who will be coming to Chatham for Rippling Out, a continuation of Medway River Lit. This project is funded by the UK Government through the UK Shared Prosperity Fund and allocated by Medway Council. So thank you ever so much to both of them.
There are 2 strands to the Rippling Out project, which runs from January to April 2025. In our community crafting and literature engagement workshops, Medway-based artists will lead free open access creative workshops. Attendees will be able to learn what poetry is and have a go, put poems onto pottery, make zines inspired by the nature and the climate, make art books inspired by the hidden words at Chatham Historic Dockyard, and learn how to upcycle and recycle clothes and other items. Aligning with our festival's sustainability theme, craft activities and materials have been selected for their longevity, reusability or ease of recycling. We'll also be using recycled materials in the crafts. We're also bringing some thought-provoking theatre, comedy and poetry to Medway in accessible afternoon performances. All activities are suitable for an older family audience, so long as young people are accompanied by a parent or guardian. But due to the nature of some of the topics of our Rippling Out sessions, parental discretion and an age guideline of 14 plus is recommended unless detailed.
In case you missed January's activities, here's Anne-Marie to give you a rundown of things that have already been happening in downtown Chatham.
Christmas came early with a November full of the fab fest known as Medway River Lit. And it really is the gift that keeps giving with its Rippling Out project that has seen a jam-packed January full of creative experiences. It all kicked off with a poetry session led by the fabulous photographer Michi Masumi, which was followed by poetry with the awesome C.R. Smith, before ending with the double whammy of another fantastic poetry session and an afternoon of comedy from the breakup queen herself, Rosie Wilby, who shared her very entertaining breakup monologues with an entertained audience. So get involved and put the fun into February, as I'm pleased to say we've got lots more sessions to come. Full details can be found on Medway River Lit website, and we look forward to seeing you there.
Thanks, Anne-Marie. So, what's coming up next? In February, we have 2 sessions showing how to create a zine. A zine being a personal magazine that you can create to express whatever you want. If that sounds like your thing, the dates for your diary are on the first 2 Saturdays of the month, the 1st and the 8th, in the afternoon at Intra Arts in Rochester. Your hosts will be David Dykes and Sky Campbell, who are both real zine enthusiasts. Our broad theme for these dates is the climate and how it affects us, which can be interpreted whichever way you please. That's the beauty of the zine. It's your own space to paint any colour you like. In the second of our Rippling Out sessions, where we are showcasing comedy, poetry and theatre, we are delighted to bring back award-winning poet John McCulloch to Medway. John has won numerous awards, including the 2012 Polari Prize, and his collections have been named Books of the Year in The Independent, The Guardian and The Observer, as well as his work often appearing in magazines such as Poetry London, Poetry Review and The New Statesman. His latest book of poems is Panic Response, by Penned in the Margins. It contains Flower of Sulphur, shortlisted for the 2021 Forward Prize for Best Single Poem, and his collection was also featured in The Times as a notable new poetry book of 2022. John's previous collection, Reckless Paper Birds, won the 2020 Hawthornden Prize for Literature and was shortlisted for the Costa Poetry Award. John has been a great friend to Medway Poetry over the last few years, and it's great to welcome him back here. He will be supported by Bethany Goodwill, a locally based poet, who is one half of the team that produces Big Trouble, Medway's best and longest running live lit night. They are also a brilliant poet in their own right. Here's John reading Please Don't Touch Me, My Head Falls Off, from his award-winning book, Reckless Paper Birds.
Please don't touch me. My head falls off. Reads the sign around the neck of the enormous Playmobil figure. I know the feeling. I blame Red Bull and I blame the news. In tests, 70% of humans can be persuaded to give an electric shock to a stranger. I'd rather give them shortbread, or perhaps a little wave, but those too could have blue consequences. I scan the crowd and wonder who might push the button. This student in brogues, wielding lilies. The yummy mummy with a fearsome ponytail. I'm not answering further questions till my solicitor is present, or I have proof they are irrevocably bad, like at that fancy dress party when I saw a Cyberman smoke a cigarette. Meanwhile, I'm petrified of the thump in my chest that is 4 valves closing, that conjures up a backwards advent calendar, a door shut with every year. I tremble, pick at falafel wraps and storage terror like those bald eagles who save every twig they find till their overburdened nests plummet to the ground. I drop my leftover wrap in a bin and consider death by falling or electrocution, death by milk float steered by the nemesis I didn't know I had. I am vastly misjudged as a foe, I want to tell him. He doesn't know who he's dealing with, how much I'm not here, startled as I am by what turns out to be moss tumbling from gutters, by the voice shrieking and howling in my pocket that is Kate Bush, by a horde of breakable creatures, not licking or hitting each other, just treading their way softly along the back of morning, tiny hearts jolting.
And after February, of course, comes March. On Saturday the 8th, we'll be discovering the hidden words at Chatham Historic Dockyard, which will be the inspiration for making text and art sketchbooks to take home with us. Our facilitators for this session will be Heather Haythornthwaite, an amazing artist and master printmaker who runs the Hazelnut Press in Rochester, and, me, writer Sam Hall. Entry to the Dockyard will be free that day for the attendees. Your one-day entry ticket will be included in the session. This workshop will be using recycled materials in line with our commitment to environmental sustainability.
2 further events will be following up on that theme on Saturday the 29th of March at the Creation Space in Sunpier House, Chatham. In the morning we have Remake, Repair, Create, a morning of upcycling your clothes and making costumes and decorations from household trash. Our expert facilitators will be on hand to advise on clothes repair and upcycling. They are just the best at turning trash into treasure. Then in the afternoon, in the same place, we have Kieran Poole with a rippling out session entitled Milk, Eggs, Bread. Now the odds are this has happened to you. Pushing your trolley round the supermarket, you find somebody else's handwritten shopping list discarded within it, perhaps left littered loosely or snug tight in the little clipboard. So Medway artist Kieran Poole has decided to make a show all about them. He's collected over 500 and given each a unique humorous tale as part of an online gallery. Enjoy an hour with Kieran as he goes through his favourites and proves that even bread, cheese and milk can tell a story. Here's Kieran talking a little about the show.
So I'm Kieran Poole and I am the creator of the online gallery Milk, Eggs, Bread. And that is a gallery of 500 shopping lists that have been littered and I have found in Medway. And the reason why I collect these shopping lists left in baskets and trolleys and on the shop floor is because I think they tell stories through the quirky spelling errors to the handwriting, to where quite clearly one member of the family has written something they want and then another member has gone, nope, you're not having that, and crossed it out. So the show that I'm doing is all about these stories that can be taken from these shopping lists. I'm also the creator of Rubbish Snooker, where I collect litter and make it into art on top of a snooker table. And that's what I started with. And now I've also doing the shopping list. So hopefully I will see you there on the 29th of March to discuss, you guessed it, shopping lists.
Rippling Out culminates in April with 2 amazing final events. On a date to be confirmed, we'll be screening a documentary about a play written by Archer's writer Sarah Hare. Her play, The Shadow Garden, explores trauma and war. Sarah will also be talking about the effect of war on the environment in a Q&A after the screening, so come along to that. We'll be shouting about it on our website and socials as soon as we've confirmed the details on this one. Here's Sarah.
The Making of the Shadow Garden is a creative documentary that combines scenes from the original stage production in Kosovo, interviews, and creative footage filmed with Albanian-speaking actors in London. The story is based on the Bogojevci family, who were medically evacuated to Manchester after the children survived a massacre in their hometown that killed many members of their family. Survivor Johanna Bogojevci said, "We were meant to live and we were meant to tell our story."
Our final Rippling Out session will be on Saturday, 26th of April, again at the Creation Space, with award-winning poet Teresa Lola reading from her second collection, Ceremony for the Nameless. Teresa Lola is a poet and author of 2 poetry collections, including that book. Her poem is in the UK's GCSE syllabus. She has worked on projects by Dulwich Picture Gallery, National Gallery and Wellcome Collection. She often combines poetry with music and visual art. Ceremony for the Nameless is about how, in Yoruba culture, newborn babies are welcomed into the world and ushered into the social fabric through naming ceremonies filled with songs of praise. The names bestowed are communicative both of where the baby has come from, the circumstances of its birth, the atmosphere in the home, and of where its future will take it. Both are forms of destiny. Far-reaching and musical, Teresa Lola's second collection explores the act of naming and its role in shaping our identities, our aspirations, and what we carry and how we belong. For this event, Teresa will be supported by me, Barry Fentyman Hall, a person who has written some stuff, a lot of it about the lived environment of the Medway area. Here's Teresa reading To My Previous Self from her book, Ceremony for the Nameless.
To my previous self. Busy-eyed young one, don't judge me. Don't look so dazed with disappointment, hands dangling from your bright blue dungarees. I'm still doing the thing you love, though I miss loving it the way you did. How did you do it? Climbing skyscrapers in handmade kits, wire walking between clouds, treating rejection as a bridge. I have been dreaming about you. Each time you were slapping my shoulder and telling me to wake up. The Yoruba proverb warns of Ajima Boju tí ń fi ojú àná wòran, a person who rises in the morning without washing his face, one who sees things with yesterday's eyes. Starting today, I will exfoliate my regrets. I will only knock on doors that have odd numbers, dare me, even ones that have none. I will no longer be a tenant of fear. I am reclaiming that unchoreographable desire I had, which means I must swig the air into my throat and breathe it back into the world newly effervescent.
So that's all there is from us this time. The river has been lit and it ripples out far and wide. We really hope to see you at the events we've talked about today.
Just like to add that for people who may not have been able to attend some of the workshops, we are going to be making little videos and popping them on our YouTube channel, so do keep your eyes peeled for those. Before we go, we'd like to say a big thank you to Intra Arts, Nucleus Arts, Chatham Historic Dockyard and Sunpier House, our rippling out venues. Also to Anne-Marie Jordan for being irreplaceable. And of course, all our facilitators, Mitchie Massamy, Carol Smith, Heather Haythornthwaite, David Dykes, Skye Campbell and Rosie Atkinson. Also, of course, our writers, performers and artists, Rosie Wilby, John McCulloch, Bethany Goodwill, Kieran Poole and Teresa Lola. Not forgetting Sarah Hare and her production team. There may be a couple of additions to the Rippling Out project, so do keep your eyes peeled on our blog and website.
Find us at www.medwayriverlit.co.uk and follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Links are in the programme notes. Take us out, Stuart. Thanks, mate.
Won't you come down? Won't you come down? Won't you come down to Chatham Town? Oh, won't you come down? Won't you come down? Won't you come down to Chatham Town?